Hey guys, Mr. Thompson here again. I have another game that I want to show you. Something really easy if you're running out of things to do with this free time you have at home. You can easily put this together, play. So let's check it out. So this game is called Nine Men's Morris. What I have here, this is just a printed and laminated board that I use in my classroom when teaching this game. It's really easy. All you need is the board, and then you're going to need two sets of 9 pieces. They could be anything. You just need to be able to distinguish them. So I have 2 sets of these 9 metal coins here. You could use pennies and nickels. You can use colored pieces of paper, cut out, whatever it is, and then the game board. So actually, because I am not the most crafty person around, this is a hand-drawn board I made. It's a little bigger, which will work for these pieces. You can easily make your own board like mine. If you look at the shapes closely, it's just a inner square, a middle square, and then an outer square. So you're drawing 3 squares inside of each other. And then on the edge of each square, you're going to put these dots, one at the corner and one in the middle of each line. Do that for all 3 of your squares. And then your final piece is to simply draw a line connecting the 3 dots on the sides there, and you have yourself a 9 Men's Morris board. So with your board, you get 2 players together. Each player is going to get 9 pieces. The pieces are the men, or the Morris, which is coming from a Latin word meaning pieces or components of a game. 9 Men's Morris, we know, is at least 2,000 years old. We have a lot of examples of this being a popular Roman game. And because it was popular during the Roman Empire, it means we have also lots of examples of it getting spread around all parts of the Roman Empire. So we see this game in Egypt, we see this game in Africa, we see it in all parts of Europe, although there's a lot of examples that suggest this game's even older than that, and there were probably Northern European cultures and groups that maybe played variations of this game long before the Romans got into it. So let me show you the basics of how to play. First off, with your 9 pieces, players are going to take turns placing them on one of the dots in the board like that. So if that was my first play, this might be the next player's play. Now the purpose is you are trying to get 3 in a row of your pieces. So 3 in the row on one of the sides of a square, or the lines that connect the middle dot. So you need to get 3 dots in a row that are connected by a line. So let's say I put a piece there, my opponent puts a piece there. If I get 3 in a row, I got what is called a mill. When you get a mill, you get to pick one of your opponent's pieces and remove it from the game. So it's still their turn. Maybe they're going to go somewhere else. I'm going to come here. So you keep going back and forth trying to make mills. Now let's say my opponent just made a mill up here at top. They now have the option to take one of my pieces off, but they cannot remove a completed mill that I have. So they can remove one of these 2 pieces here. And I think they're going to choose to remove that one from the game. So you'd keep playing, trying to block each other's efforts to make another mill, until eventually you are going to get all of the pieces laid. Now, once you get all the pieces laid, you enter the second phase of the game, which is each player takes a turn picking one of their pieces, and you slide it along the lines to an adjacent dot that is unoccupied. So I could slide my dot over there, and that would be my turn. My opponent can then choose a piece and slide it, and you're still trying to do the same thing. You're still trying to now make a mill, which they just did. Since they've made a mill, they can remove one of my pieces, except for the mill that I have here completed. The only time you could remove an opponent's mill piece is if that's all I had. If I just had 3 mills with my 9 pieces and nothing else, then my opponent could remove one. But so they're going to go ahead and take this one. So it'd be my turn. So I'm going to do that. My opponent's going to move there. Now it's my turn next. On my last turn, I moved this piece up to break my mill. On my turn now, I can move it back, and I've now recreated that mill, thus allowing me to remove one of my opponent's pieces. So you need to really be mindful when you're placing your pieces of that second phase of not letting your opponent get this situation here where they can just go back and forth, breaking and recreating a mill to remove your pieces. So the way the game goes is you keep playing until one person only has 2 pieces left on the board, at which point the other player is the winner. Now, as I said, there's a lot of evidence of this game being played around the world. There's lots of variants. For instance, if you have more pieces, you could have 12 pieces on each side, and you could draw a diagonal line connecting these 3, and it gives you a whole nother spot where you can make 3. You could take the outer square out, and you can make a shorter game, 6 men's Morris instead of 9. There's a lot of different ways you can vary it. If you look online, there are a lot of examples of what these mill boards look like. Don't just do marker on paper like mine. You can paint your own board. You can decorate the squares. You can, kind of like this printed one here, decorate the outside, make it unique, make it your own. But if you have some free time and you're looking for a different kind of 2-player game that you would like to play, 9 Men's Morris is an excellent, fun, and surprisingly strategic option. So check it out, guys.